Hello everyone, welcome. I am Gary Gazzo. This is Race First coverage of round 12 of season 8 of the Vigilante Racing League Truck Series as we come to you tonight from Kansas Speedway. Joining me in the booth for this race and hopefully next week as well is my good friend and veteran driver of the series, the maestro, Ricky Wittenberg. Ricky, thanks for joining me. Well, since you're the veteran of the series here, and you got some testing time in these trucks, tell us kind of what to expect early on. We got cool temps and cooled ambient and cool track temps, and normally in our IndyCar coverage, that means, well, pack race. But it's a little bit different here. We're going to see pack racing, and we're going to eventually see this thing separated into smaller packs eventually as these tires wear off.
Yeah, Gary, thanks for having me tonight. I do think that it will be mostly pack racing for 10, 15, maybe even 20 laps. And you can only go 27 to 30 laps if you really stretch it on a tank of gas. So I think that it'll stay pretty tight with these low temperatures tonight. These guys will have a lot of grip. It's going to be hard to pass. I've watched a lot of guys running the high line in practice trying to save their tires. So the track's probably a second faster than it was on Monday night. So all the guys that ran the practice race just throw all that information out and go hammer down tonight.
All right. We're watching qualifications. John Curtis in the mellow yellow throwback here, currently provisionally 9th. Now moving up to 10th. We're just kind of cycling through. There's Chandler Paul on the race first ride. Looks nice. Currently provisionally on the pole with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to play for qualifying is Zachary Hallinan with a 178.3. We got speeds up there. We can do time, but speeds kind of put everything in relative here. The rule set for tonight, of course, is a 1.5 mile oval, 133 laps at 1.5 miles. 4 sets of tires, 1 on the truck, 3 in the pits, 65% fuel. We figure either a 3 or 4 stop, but that's if we go a lot of green flag racing. I've been told to expect some yellows. I've been kind of spoiled by my ISRA coverage with the 5 straight NASCAR races of no cautions, but the sizes of fields have literally been half of these, so again, I've been spoiled. One fast repair, 1 green-white checker attempt. Lucky dogs are enabled. The waiver rounds are enabled. No restart zone. The apron is in bounds, and the pit road speeds at 55 miles per hour. Normally, when I do my regular open wheel coverage, this is when I tell you when the track records here are at Kansas. I don't know what the NASCAR track records is, but the overall track records held by Thomas Scheckter with a speed of 218.547 miles per hour. Not going to see that fall at all today.
No, I don't think we're going to get quite that fast in the tracks.
Of course, he set that back in 2002, a long time ago. And one of the Infinity Nissan engines, a few pole positions back in the day. Are they still talking about and coming up to in the NASCAR and the Nissan guys, Nissan company?
I think that they talk about it, but I don't know how serious those discussions are.
As a talk in IndyCar that maybe we might lose Honda, and that won't be good.
No, that would definitely not be good for IndyCar racing.
No.
I did see that Jess Vaught, the captain, the league owner, just jumped to the top of the charts with a 30.817 lap time.
Yeah, 178.561. That puts him considerably faster over Hallinan at his 178.3. And we got 12 seconds to go here, and we'll get a starting lineup here momentarily. A lot of people choosing not to qualify.
Well, the one thing with the VRL, if you have penalties, you're not allowed to qualify. So there were quite a few penalties coming out of the race from Dover last week. It was pretty rough and tumble. And, there's a lot of guys that they didn't qualify because Miss Lori threw her band hammer down and said you are not allowed to qualify.
We understand. Let's go ahead and clear these graphics off and get in tonight's starting grid. And we'll get this up on the screen here. Jess Vaught with the pole, 178.561. Right next to him, Zachary Hallinan, P2. Dustin Eaton, also in the 178 bracket, P3. Craig Goodenough, the man with a James Bond last name. I love it, P4. Jack Dixon lines up 5th. Kelly Cool in the 01 lining up 6th. Timothy Pope in the 7 lining up 7th. John Curtis, the first of the cars in the 177 bracket, lining up 8th. Greg Dobson 9th. And Alejandro Gonzalez, he will be 10th. Moving on to the next page. David Feit 11th. John Gallagher 12th. Edson Ochoa, 13th. Sean McDonald, 23rd. Or excuse me, he's 23 and 14th. Andrew Player, 15th. George Rincon, 16th. Chandler Paul in the race first ride there, and 17th. Michael Everidge, 18th. Jacob Young, 19th. Trevor Robinson in 20th. Kevin Hunt in the 21st spot. Larry Dickerson in the 69, bringing it home he will line up 22nd. Michael Adamson in 23rd. Josh Bittner, he was a teammate of mine a couple IndyCar races back a couple years ago, is 24th. Albert Anderson's 25th. Jonathan Osborne, 26th. Kyle Vaught, 27th. Then, of course, the host with the most, Lori Vaught, but we know that she's not lining up to race. But we have her credited for 28th for some reason. I think that's because of iRating points, maybe. Scott Howe, 29th. Austin Paul in 30th. And David Mayberry in 31st. And then we're going to have a couple that are going to be at the back here that might not show up on the graphic. So we'll, as soon as we get going here and everything's sorted, we'll get them identified.
The one thing with the VRL is always we've got very good, strong car counts or truck counts just about every week. So you can always count on 30 guys to take the green flag. And totally honestly, there's over 20 guys week in and week out that can win a race. It's really competitive.
Looks like Cawthon and Wade will be the final two spots. And Dustin Wade actually back there, he's going to be in a race first truck too. So I'll tell the two guys in the race first trucks, if you get on the podium, I got $20 for you.
There you go. Give them a little incentive. They have extended the caution by one lap to get everybody lined up. So we're actually 2 to green, which, Gary, when we're talking about fuel strategy races and you don't know how many cautions you're going to have, it's always a guessing game. And especially if you're one of these guys that likes to try to save gas, like the wizard himself, George Rincon, or the professor, Greg Dobson. When you extend it by one lap, you know they're gritting their teeth going, oh no, they're cutting their car off under caution, trying to coast around and save as much as they can.
How quickly in the trucks do you immediately start thinking about fuel mileage, fuel conservation? In IndyCar, it's almost when the car, you turn it on the grid. I mean, during the pace lap, you're automatically trying to do fuel conservation. Is it pretty much the same thing here?
It is definitely the same thing here in the VRL. When we fire the car on to come onto the track, you start saving gas immediately. If you're in gas saving mode, the only thing is first few laps of the race can be kind of hairy, and you don't want to lose too many positions. So you kind of got to balance running as fast as you can while not losing too many spots, and at the same time saving as much gas as you can. If you're on that strategy, some guys are not going to worry about gas at all.
All right, if you're just joining us, again, this is Race First coverage, and if you enjoy the coverage so far of the VRL Truck Series or Respect the Stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. While you're at it, don't forget to smash like and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future Race First iRacing broadcasts coming down the green for 133 laps of racing here at Kansas. Green flag in the air. And one in the books, and hey, you got through the first lap. Everybody's all clean and green. Can we settle into a bit of a rhythm now? As already guys going up to the top looking for that grip strip.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what's going on early. I'm looking in the back of the pack. They 2 and 3 wide, trying to get everything sorted out. It usually takes 4 or 5 laps to get everything kind of sorted out.
Everyone minding their P's and Q's so far. Back here with Bittner, riding on his hood. Already a lot of everybody, well, we got a car on the apron coming off the speed. That's the...
That's the 10 car of Andrew COTA.
And he must have started from pit road. Already down a lap, unfortunately.
Disagreement on the first lap between him and another driver, so he may have went for a spin cycle. I will try to go back and see what caused him to fall back so fast.
Bit of a 4-car breakaway. Yeah, that's old habits try hard. Oh, 4-truck breakaway at the front. And they're not shy about using that apron on the front stretch. Now, the interesting, as I tell people, we did our Tuesday night IndyCar Oval Series top split race last night, and we were at Chicagoland. Very similar track to this, except has the curved backstretch. And so one of the drivers went to the apron. And the apron is in bounds in official iRacing races. And but you're not entitled to let that guy back up. And that's exactly what happened. We're going to be 2x2 and 4x4 coming to the line here as this first group kind of separating out a little bit, giving each other a little bit of room, looking for different lines. So, yeah, you got to watch yourself down on that apron because there is no courtesy to let you back up if the guy above you says, nah, I'm not going to let you back up. Of course, that might invite a wreck. So some of these guys are going to have to start thinking ahead about getting to turn 1 safely and not being on that apron. 4-truck breakaway. Got a pack of about 4 more behind them, led by Kelly Cool there in the P5. Cool, Pope, Dobson, Curtis, Hallinan, and Gonzalez, your top 10 right now. 7 of 133 in the books. We're thinking right around 30. 30 if we get green flag pit stops. Are we going to get there? Ochoa?
We've got a lot of talking on the radio, so drivers trying to get everything sorted out. I did go back. The initial start, it looked like there was a checkup. Andrew Cawthon ran into the rear end of Austin Paul and actually spun him through the grass on the front stretch.
Oh.
And he must have came in to get a fast repair because he had caved his nose in.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to have a battle of the race first trucks right here. We got Dustin Wade already up 14 spots. Started shotgun in the field in that nice-looking race first truck. And he is about up to Chandler Paul, who's in the other race first truck. And this is a battle for 17th. We'll give him a little TV time. I'm a little biased, I'll admit it. But 14 spots. Dustin on a run already, very early on. Now, when you're starting that far back and you're making that run, how much, when is the overlap when the tires start happening with these guys that have been saving versus the guys that have been pushing in the back?
Yeah, Greg Dobson told me just before the race that it seemed like the truck started really losing pace about 10 to 15 laps in.
Oh, right there.
And started getting tight. So not loose tonight. It looks like they're getting tight, which usually produces guys, what in NASCAR we call it pushing, and you call it
understeer. And we are watching Greg Dobson right there in the 085. From Club Canada. Everybody's iRating is there in the graphic. Plus the safety area, 369. Very safe driver. Last lap, 175.8.
Dobson is very smart. He's a good driver. He knows when to push it and when not to push it. He's actually, this year, he's really improved his mile-and-a-half game, his intermediate track game. He's always been great on certain speedways.
And both those race first trucks now worked their way up to David Fight in 16th. And they're going to split. They're going to split the difference. That's what a race first sandwich looks like right there. Oh, Chandler getting a little tight there on the bottom. Almost up into the quarter panel. Keeps it off him. Goes to the apron. Tucks in behind him. Getting set up for one. Staying on the bottom. Top line, though, seems to have a ton of momentum coming off it. I'm pretty sure that's where Wade's made most of his passes, is right up on the top side. He stayed up there all race long.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that likes to ramrod it, and he pushes pretty hard, but he's always able to save his tires somehow, even though he seems to really, really push it. The elite group, I noticed, Gary's got back up to basically 6 trucks before you've got the gap to the beautiful mellow yellow inspired 43 of John Curtis.
Avant, Eaton, good enough, all in line. Now, is this just because their choice of running the line, or are they actually up there saving some fuel?
I would think that they are probably trying to save tires more than gas. If you're running in the top, usually 10, it's really hard to save enough gas, and if you're on a gas strategy. So usually those guys in the top 10, if you see them riding around, they're probably more trying to save tires than gas. I just saw one of my drivers, Trevor Robertson, bite the wall. Hopefully he didn't hit it too hard. I try to be non-biased here, but I do have 4 stallions out there running for me. Yeah,
we just saw the kind of spread out on the backstretch as people kind of avoided him there. I kind of zoomed in there. He's in a battle with John Gallagher and Gonzalez right there for 9th, 10th, and 11th. George Recon right behind him. Oh, Trevor, kind of a switch over on Gallagher. Gallagher goes high, almost bounces off the wall.
Dustin Wade's very slow on the backstretch.
And Dustin Wade, we'll check him out. And we have a little wall action. Yep, little scuffed on the side of that paint job, so he lost a little momentum. Maybe the race first crew could get that taken care of with the fast repair when they hit pit road. They're about halfway through the stint. So far, we're going to knock on wood, if I can find some. No cautions yet. But these tires, there's a truck in the back there. Is that Cawthorn? Cawthorn in the, nope, that would be Hunt.
That would be Kevin Hunt in one of the team orangutan cars, the 34.
Purple car there, purple truck, kind of struggling a little bit. But really, in some of these races, when they're like this, and you got the field so close together, and you can actually, still see the leader from where he is. I mean, the truck's really just staying on the lead lap, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. The main thing right now, if you're toward the back, you just want to try to stay on the lead lap, hope there's going to be a caution, and you're not the caution. I am looking at some analytics here. 15 laps average. We got a 15-lap average. Jess Vought's up front, but he is the fastest over 15 laps, averaging 31.70. Dustin Eaton, Craig Goodenough, Jack Dixon, and Kelly Kill right now the fastest 15-lap averages.
Let's get some also shout-outs to the big gainers. Trevor Robinson, one of your drivers, up 10 spots to 10th. Dustin Wade, even hitting the wall, though, still up 12 spots to 20th. David Feit, though, has struggled a little bit. He's down 16 from where he started, down to 27. Just probably taking it easy. Again, you can still see the leaders. No reason to push it. Save those tires. Maybe make some extra laps by saving some fuel. Maybe catch a caution at the opportune time. Jacob Young down 10 spots, but kind of in the same strategy here. Everybody's still in the lead lap. No reason to panic yet. Coming about 10 to go to pit time, or at least the first of, we think, when the window will open up. Oh, we have a truck coming to pit road. Jack Dixon, scheduled stop. Maybe a little early.
I'm guessing for Jack it probably is. He's probably realizes he can't make it on, try to stretch it into longer runs, so he's trying to pit early and undercut it to gain some track position for saving his tires.
Well, new tires. It will be a short fill and a short stop. Oh, misses his marks just a little bit. Going to cost him some time on pit road. Meanwhile, back up to the leaders. There's Jess Vaught, Eaton, Goodenough, kind of breaking away right now. Pope is right there. Kelly Cool also right there. What's the for these trucks though? When they poke a hole in the air, punch a big hole in the air. What's the draft envelope? How far back does that extend from the trucks? For an IR18 IndyCar, it's about a second and a half. What's the trucks?
Yeah, it's probably about a second. But honestly, when you're racing tight, it doesn't really feel like you're drafting all that much. You can kind of get runs on guys, but if they know how to block the lane, or if they're really running that high line and keeping their momentum up. It can be really tough to pass guys if they don't want you to get around.
Here's a battle between George Rincon and Larry Dickerson. Ooh, getting close there, boys. Watch the net code.
I just saw Mike Everidge push up out of turn 2 in the left rear quarter panel of Josh Bittner. Both of them came out of it without a scratch, though. It was very, very tight, though, coming out of 2. Bittner is he's on a tear. He's up 10 spots, up to 14th in the Dick Trickle Miller paint scheme.
And right there, Michael Adamson up 10 spots as well. Larry Dickerson up 12 spots. Trevor Robinson now up 13 as he's now inside the mid-top 10.
Yeah, Trevor at this point, he's trying to split it up and make up as much ground as he can. When you start that far back, you don't like to see a lot of cautions in a race, but I can guarantee you the guys probably outside of the top 10, a lot of them probably use caution.
Well, still clean and green, 24 of 133.
Tim Pope, the fastest truck on the track right now. He's still gaining ground. He's up to 3rd, and inside of the team Tang leader himself, Dustin Eaton, trying to take over 2nd.
Now, Pope can't get any closer to the grass on the apron there on the front stretch. Trying to make the shortest trip around.
He knows how to use every inch of the track, and he's pretty good at it. We do have some people on YouTube out there cheering on their favorite drivers. Several pulling for Team Tang. It looks like Albert Anderson's Pops out there pulling for Albert. South Texas Motorsports pulling for Edson Ochoa and Jacob Young. Amanda Wade pulling for Dustin Wade, and Mr. Maya is pulling for Kyle Vaught in 16.
All right, so let's take a look. Sarah Decker looking for David Feit. We've got him on the give you an update of his progress. Having a rough day, down 12 spots, but again, still early. Nothing to panic about right now. Red Arnell looking for the 89, good enough. Well, don't have to look too far away from the front for Craig. He's right there.
Seeing a lot of guys coming into the pits now.
Yeah, we got Hallinan, Paul, Vaught, Kelly Cool. We showed him on. He's currently in 5th. Wade, we'll show lots of Wade. Don't worry about that. He ensured himself getting a lot of TV time with the Race First sponsorship. That's for sure. And the 16 is Kyle Vaught on right now. As we watch down and away, hopefully no penalties. Leaders still on the racetrack. Vaught, Pope, Cool still have not stopped. Everyone down to P13 has not stopped. Everyone below that has. Now P14. Last truck going actually is Scott Howe in 14th. He's going long.
Yeah, Vaught ran a 32.3 that last lap, so the
pit road,
pretty significant.
Yeah, pit road right now. Give you and tell you how the ticker works as we see people already moving up and down on the ticker. The position number 1 through 10 will always be on your screen. If 11 through the remainder of the field will cycle after the P10 position. If you see a purple number next to someone's name, such as Hal in 14th, that means he has the fastest lap or the purple lap. So we are tracking that as we go through. We'll also give you occasional weather updates. Track temp 74, air temp 71. Again, probably don't have to worry about a lot of tire wear other than just hard racing. Larry Dickerson is currently your leader coming to pit road. Sean McDonald staying out. He's going long. He's now 29 laps under his current stint. So is Greg Dobson. These guys are doing the Scott Dixon fuel mileage game right now. They are currently well into their first stint and probably coming to pit road anytime now. I think McDonald is right now. Seeing him slow down coming off the banking. Easy does it. And same thing for Dobson. That will turn the lead back over to... We got Dixon coming off of pit road. He's in 3rd. Here comes Vaught.
Yeah, Vaught looks like he's going to cycle back out right in front of Jack Dixon, who pitted several laps before Vaught. So his tires will be wearing a little bit more, and Jess has fresh tires, and that will Pope is right behind Dixon. So we're going to get a little bit spread out here. I know some of these guys are now going to start panicking and really hoping that somebody makes a mistake and a caution comes out, because it's going to be really spread out.
Well, and it could be these guys coming up to speed on the apron. That's the same thing, I think, in any formula of auto racing, trying to bring cold tires up to temperature, all the while trying to come up to speed as fast as you can, spinning on the apron, not unheard of in any type of formula, and these guys are going to have to do it here with the cold tires on a not a very warm night, as a matter of fact. The track temp 74, so there's grip there, but they still got to put some temperature in those tires. Your leader, Jess Vaught, Tim Pope right behind him by 2/10. Going back to Dixon, we saw him make that early stop. Hallinan in fourth in this group of three with Bittner, who has worked his way up now 18 spots with Curtis to his or Robertson to his outside. Or Robinson to his rear, excuse me. So as we reset the field, if you're just joining us, a race first coverage of the VRL Truck Series coming to you from Kansas. We've completed 32 of 133. It's got about 100 to go. If you're enjoying race first coverage of tonight's race, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. Next race here on the channel, Friday afternoon, 4 p.m., special presentation of the IIS. That is the IndyCar iRacing Series, the official iRacing Series that pretty much mirrors the real NTT IndyCar schedule. We will be doing the Indy GP this week. That'll be 4 p.m. on Friday. Also, maybe, guys, if it's, of course, it's May, if you enjoy IndyCar, you want to check me out on the ERN network. That's the Elite Racing Network. Tomorrow night, for their presentation of their Indy 500, I will get to be in the booth with Voice of the 500. That's the IMS Voice of the 500, Mark Janes. So that's going to be a real big deal for me. Pretty cool. Check that out. One of the longest running League 500s out there for 12 seasons now. And that's the Elite Racing League's IndyCar Series. Action on the track. Leader is still Pope, or is Vaught, Pope, Dixon, Curtis, Hallinan, your top 5. Robertson, Eaton, Bittner, Cool, and Gonzalez, top 10. Give some shout outs to some other people. Dixon up 10 spots. Vaught up 14. Still got some folks out there struggling, though. Kyle Vaught, yep.
Yeah, Kyle Vaught he has won a race this year. We're a couple of races away from the playoffs, but you have to be in the top 20 in VRL to get an automatic berth. He's 29th or 30th in points right now, and he needs to make up about 30 points over the next 2 races, so he's doing a pretty good job right now. I would figure he'd probably need to be in the top 8 and 10 going into tonight, going into Darlington to really have a shot to get into that top 20.
Well, let's bring up the points real quick on the screen. There you go. Robertson is your points leader. Vaught, Pope, Eaton, Rincon, Dickerson, Bittner, Klein, Paul, Osborne, your top 10. Good night, Hallinan, Cool, Player, Curtis, Anderson, Paul. Those are your battle right there for the playoffs. Of course, you got the win and you're in. And then, of course, the top 16 in points. And that's what the point situation looks like. Actually, we will be covering next week the last regular season points race before you make cutoffs for the playoffs.
Yeah, Darlington, the last regular season race. And, man, if you need to get up on the wheel and go, Darlington's not really the track you want to have to force yourself into a win. That's the track that's going to it's hard enough racing the track. And you've got to race 34 other guys, 36 other guys to try to make it, try to win Darlington. It's going to be really interesting next week. Tonight's going to be interesting. If we get another new winner, it's going to change things a ton. And there's a lot of hungry guys that hasn't won races this year that has won many races in the VRL in the past, like Albert Anderson. He's not won a race so far this year. He's hovering at that line on the points. To be able to make it in on points without a win, but I know a win would do him a lot of favors.
Anderson in that Folgers livery. So that's Tim Richmond, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going with Tim Richmond or Ken Schrader, but or Mark Martin, but it's a Folgers paint scheme.
Well, he's Of course, he got his start doing IndyCar. And then he had a big wreck at one of the very first Michigan 500s. And I guess the story is Mom says you're not doing IndyCar anymore. And so that's when he got into into stock cars.
He was pretty good no matter what he drove. Just one of the best pure racing drivers that ever lived. And shame what happened and didn't get to fulfill his destiny. Oh, Dixon in the wall. Pretty hard out of turn 2.
Yeah, we're just getting to that. A lot of momentum lost there. Possibly one of the most memorable coming to victory lane celebrations in IndyCar, Indy 500 history when Johnny Rutherford won his third. And oh gosh, I'm watching action on the racetrack.
He picked Richmond up.
Yeah, he picked Richmond. Richmond was out of gas, and he stopped and told Richmond to hop on the side pod. And they rode into on pit lane and just shy of victory lane. He jumped off and joined his crew. But he had the best ride of the ride into the cool down lap because he got the ride with the winner there on the yellow submarine back in 1980.
Yeah, that was definitely something worth. I had to watch it. Had to watch it on the old YouTube because I was born in 1980, so I don't really remember that all that well.
And watching a battle here for third between Eaton and Curtis. Also involved Cool. Cool's going to take low, look 3 wide. I'm just going to send it down low, hitting the apron. Careful, boys.
The Wisconsin Wildman, Kelly Kill. Really, he's showing some speed tonight, and he's another guy that needs to win to definitely secure his place into the playoffs. So,
still
really, really strong tonight.
Still 3 wide. Looks like the start of the Indy 500. Keeping very well behaved, keeping it off each other, trying not to get too close, and then Curtis going to go to the bottom. He was thinking about sending it 3 wide, and he opted against it. Looks like he had the momentum to get there. Goes back up to the top line. Looks like the only one able to really run the low line there was Cool. He made up 2 spots, went from 5th now to 3rd, and Eaton is wearing out that tailgate at the moment.
They're all on pretty similar pit strategies. They're all
Eaton in the wall. He rode that thing all the way around. That's going to cost some massive momentum. Here comes Eaton and comes Holland and Bittner. That's easy pickings right there for those two.
Oh, most definitely. Bittner's really coming through the field good. He's made a lot of progress here throughout the race.
So Eaton now back to 8th by riding the turns 1 and 2 wall. Hallinan also got by in the 74. Dixon in the 69 also got by as well. And looks like Eaton is getting the momentum built back up. But riding that wall for that long surely could not help the aero of his truck very much. A very interested party in all of this is Alessandro Gonzalez, as he is back there in at 9th. He's been kind of hovering in this bottom portion of the top 10 all night, very consistently. My man Chandler Paul in the race first truck, he has worked his way up to 10th.
That's a great run for Chandler. He's really come on this year. Won the opening race at Daytona. He's right on the edge of the top 20, so he needs a strong run, and it looks like he's got one going tonight.
The other race first truck, Dustin Wade, after pit stops, back down to 28. Still up 4 spots from where he started. No one around him right now, so he can just race the racetrack at the moment. Bring up the updates here and the tree. Player and Dobson for 14th. Dobson getting the position, sliding up in front of Player. Player's going to do the switch over, go low on the apron, see if he can try to get back up on the quarter panel of that truck to get the position going in the one. Nope, he's going to tuck back in and try to run him down the back stretch. Next up for Dobson is McDonald in 13th there. Chandler Paul now up to 10th. Gallagher in 11th in that 123. Here comes Adamson in the 12. Or Adamson, excuse me, in the 88 up to 11th.
Adamson's running the old forward, the NASCAR Cup Series forward style number for his truck, and that's an interesting look. The way it.
Oh, Chandler! I think Chandler just scuffed my paint job because he has lost a lot of momentum going through 1 and 2. I think there's a lot of turbulent air. People trying to run that high side, getting a lot of aero wash. Yeah, they get the side there all scuffed up.
And it doesn't take much with as aero sensitive as these trucks are, especially in a 1.5-mile track, to you wouldn't think that just a little brush on the wall would affect your speed, but it definitely makes a difference.
Osborne in the 81 getting the position over Chandler, moving him up to 13th. Eaton and Bittner in a battle here. Eaton's got his momentum back up, and he's back up to 6th, getting around Bittner. Gonzalez, I told you he was an interesting party. He's watching on the low side of Bittner into 1. He's going to slide up in front of, and I think Bittner might have hit the wall too. I thought everyone was supposed to get their Darlington stripes next week, as Eaton gets or the 74, excuse me, and Hallinan getting the run, and the 88 getting the run around Bittner. So when I heard that we'd be doing the 2 races for your series. Of course, we've done tons of races at Kansas. Typically, IndyCars always put on a good show here. Typically turns into a big pack race for the IndyCars when they're here, whether it be the IR18s or the DW12s. But then when I saw Darlington, I actually had to do a search out of all of our videos on Race First. I think that we ever done. Ooh, geez. Your guy just getting shot out of a cannon all of a sudden. Robinson, I think he just pitted. He might be doing the overcut now.
Well, it looks like that he had lost connection due to a download issue, and he reconnected. So he's got some problems right now.
Okay, so he's racing with a little red in the eyes as well, and I don't blame him. Bittner, pit road. Where's Bittner? There he is, pit road. 84 down and away. So yeah, I think we got something like 350 plus races that we've done on Race First. Not a single one at Darlington. So this is going to be interesting next week.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely enjoy the experience.
I do, however, have stories from the one time when the USAC Champ Car Series raced there. Yes, IndyCars have raced at Darlington. If anyone tells you they haven't, they lie. Or they just don't know their history. Yeah, one time in the history. Ooh, Pope in the wall. Still in the wall, trying to get off the wall. Yeah, and Vaught just going to get a massive run. Oh, that's not what Pope wanted.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad as the ARCA cars in iRacing, but the trucks do also have a tendency to, when you get in the wall, sometimes it don't want to let you go. And Pope was, I'm sure, just trying to ride it out and not jerk it off the wall and cause a bigger problem.
Dixon in the 69 as pit stops are really starting to occur here. Vaught is 27 laps in his current run, went 28 his first stint, so we expect Vaught on pit road anytime. Same with Pope. Dickerson, 29 laps on his first stint. He's at lap 26. Expect him in about the next 3 laps if he decides not to come in earlier. Eaton staying out while Adamson, Osborne, Dobson all coming to pit road. Dobson staying on, excuse me. McDonald staying on. Gallagher staying gone. Hallinan coming to pit road. So feeding time is going on at the pumps and new tires for everybody. We've gone caution-free, 57 laps, two pit stops. So we're expecting, I think right now the way things are going, This is stop 2. We're looking at probably a 3, maybe even a splash at the end. We'll see, but certainly a 3-stopper now because of all the green flag racing.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a 4-stop race.
Yeah,
even if you stretch it to 30, 3 4s or 12, at least.
I think we're going to get that 4th. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any avoiding the 4-stopper.
Dixon coming to pit road, getting off the apron, or getting off the banking onto the apron. Oh, so tough. In any vehicle you're in, getting down to the pit road speed, even difficult. Now, even what's more difficult is these guys don't have pit road speed limiters like I'm used to, and they have to tack it down pit road. And, of course, they have timing strips so they can kind of fudge it a little bit, go faster than slower than faster, so long as they average out to what the pit road speed limit is. But it's still hard. Very easily you can speed on pit road. Watching Adam or Dickerson on pit road. Osborne is now your leader in the 81. Very bright color truck. I like it. Coming to pit road. And that will turn the lead over now to Dobson, who went long the first time. He might be, this one might be the one that does the 3-stopper. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think that there's enough, being able to save enough gas at this point to do it on 3 stops. But one thing Greg might be trying to do, hey, you stay out there long enough, you might catch a caution.
Yeah.
And then you're the leader. Everybody has to, then most of the guys will come in and pit with you. So you're going to get a lot better track position by running as long as you can, even if you can't make it on one less stop. And I think that's what Greg Dobson's doing in the Phoenix Racing Napa Auto Parts 085.
Yeah, might as well, stay out there, chance it, see what happens. And really, we've talked about it before, the chances for a caution are normally ripe at this period of time. People coming down off the banking, trucks coming around, spinning to the infield, people coming back on the racetrack. So both these trucks coming to pit road, trying to come up to speed. Back end comes around, spins on the racetrack, causes a caution. This is the time where cautions, as they say, cautions will breed cautions, but this is the breeding period, so to speak, for cautions. As Dobson runs down every single stall before he gets to his.
That's the luxury of pitting so late. You don't have to worry about other guys in the pits and able to get a clean entry.
Vaught and Pope now are going to assume the lead. Vaught, leader now by 7/10 over Pope. Dickerson in the 69, up 19 spots. Great moves on the racetrack. Great moves on pit road. Very aggressive times. He was on pit road among the shortest of all the drivers in the last stint, only 40 seconds. He was in the box, also one of the shortest amount of times for everybody in that last stint, about 15 and a half seconds. That gets you spots when you are doing green flag racing. Those are critical spots, critical seconds on the racetrack that you do not have to make up now as someone passes you. You just made them up just by being faster than everyone else when you sit still. Albert Anderson.
Looking at a pretty good battle for 8.
Yeah, let's go back and look at that.
Jack Dixon, Andrew Player, Kyle Vaught, Kelly Kill, Josh Bittner, Curtis. So you think 63 laps, 2 green flag stops, that they would have, everybody would be totally spread out. But right there, you've got like 7 cars or trucks basically battling for position. And
Dixon was on that alternate strategy, at least early on, and it has made him up, at least back up into the lead pack. He's down 3 spots from where he started, but he's recovered. Sliding down in front of the 18, throwing a little bad air to Player. Player's going to push up, probably have to roll out of it. Cool's going to get a run on the high side down the front stretch. Everybody spreads out at the line. So round 2 pit stops are done. Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching Race First coverage of round 12 of 19 of the VRL Truck Series, coming to you from Kansas, where Jess Vaught leads, where we got 65 of 133 in the book. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. Do want to thank some of our sponsors. starting with Blue Fox Properties. Blue Fox Properties isn't just Tucson's Oro Valley and Mariana's premier residential property management company. They're stress elimination specialists. That's what they say. Being involved in any aspect of move is stressful, whether you're trying to be responsible renters for your property rental or your rental property, or you're looking for people to rent what you have. Both sides of the transaction are in flux, and we make every extra effort to make sure the transaction, there's a lot of words here, as smooth and pleasant as possible. To learn more about Blue Fox, head to their website at bluefoxproperties.com or click in the link in the description. I want to thank them for their sponsorship of the VRL and bringing it to Raceverse.
Got a change for the lead, Gary.
Yeah, get up there.
Pope passing Jess Vaught. I think they're playing a little cat and mouse with each other. Who's going to save tires enough to, if they're going to try to run away from each other, stay together? I mean, they've got a sizable margin on third, so they are probably trying to maintain that gap.
Well, they got also a third truck involved here in Scott Howell in 23rd. He is the last truck on the lead lap. But these two probably can get in behind him and at least draft for a couple laps before passing him. He is a little slower than the lead two, but these two could probably get a lap or two of good draft behind him. Every little drop counts.
I want to give a shout out to Alejandro Gonzalez. He is running top 5. He is he's newer to the VRL. He's on Team Tang. I know he's had some struggles this year and been involved in some chaos that he didn't create. And man, he is running really, really strong, and I want to give him a shout out.
He is right on the tailgate of the 99. He's going to push high going into 3 and 4. Going to get a good run off the corner. He's not going to get the position. He looks a little loose right now, kind of wiggling coming off the corner exit there. These guys are about 15 laps into a run. You talked about 10 laps. The good of the tires kind of are gone.
Yeah, and you can see, you've seen plenty of guys push up into the wall tonight, especially out of turn 2. Looks like that's been the trouble spot.
And we also do want to thank GC Cruise Travel for their sponsorship of the VRL, bringing us to Race First. GC Cruise Travel, travel agency that specializes in cruising the seas. To learn more about their business and GC Cruise Travel, follow them on Facebook or Twitter. Links are in the description, or contact Greg for your next port of call today. And yeah, Pope and Vaught are just kind of tucked in. Now, actually, Vaught is on the backside of what I was talking about with Howell. Is he's trying to work the draft here a little bit. Maybe this turns into a fuel mileage race.
Yeah, it's definitely cat and mouse right now. I see Pope finally able to get some momentum to get around Scott Howell, and it looks like he's trying to run away from Vaught right now and put a little bit of distance between those two. Yeah,
7/10 the lead. That might as well be 2 laps worth right now. That's about as far as a big of a lead we've seen anybody have up at the top spot all day long. A little bit further back. 11 seconds.
Yellow flag.
434. Kevin Hunt we saw sideways. I think Kevin Hunt got into, we'll go back and rewind that. He got into the 28. I also got my race first truck on the 72. But let's look at that again, get a different angle. I think the 434 got under the 28.
George Rincon.
Yeah, that's one of the vets, longtime vets here of the series. Hunt gets down, might have kissed the apron, I don't know. But there's the push. There's the arrow push. There it is. And right into the door.
Chased it all the way up the track.
Yeah,
looks like he tried to squeeze out.
Ooh, 29 involved, unfortunately. That's David Mayberry. Ooh. The 085, Dobson, who we saw kind of doing the longest economy runs, just sneaks through. And we'll watch from his point of view here. But I imagine everybody's coming to pit road, as we see already on the tickers. Everyone's hitting pit in. I don't think very many people are going to stay out. And we're watching from Dobson's point of view, everything happen in front of him. Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? I'm going to shoot for this hole right here. Hopefully he doesn't get my... And I'm clear. Whoa. Good stuff. Good job by Greg Dobson there.
Yeah, Dobson is a very, very good driver. He knows what he's doing. He sometimes it does take a little bit of luck too, and he's able to squeeze through the crashing on the bottom and the top, and squeezed right through the middle.
Well, so far, a couple have stayed out. Eaton has stayed out. Gonzalez has stayed out, I believe. Yeah, but Vaught and Pope and everyone behind them have stopped. So what's going to happen here if Eaton, last time he pitted, was lap 58. He's currently 17 laps into his current run. So he's going to stay out for some track position. So is Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 20 laps into his current stint. He last pitted at lap 55. So if I'm not mistaken with the rules, waiver rounds are enabled. So the lucky dog is going to, I think, Jonathan Osborne, if not Andrew Cawthon. And everybody in front of the leaders, if there's anybody left in front of the leaders, are going to get the waiver round.
Yeah, since the way I understand the way iRacing works with the Cup or the NASCAR style package, since Eaton and well, it looks like they may have pitted now.
Well, Eaton is still on the racetrack, but it looks like Alejandro Gonzalez has decided to pit. Maybe he just missed. Missed pit coming into pit road or something. I don't know.
I think they both must have missed coming into pit road because, 17, 18 laps on your tires here when you know you only got another 10 in you before you have to pit again. That's if that was the strategy, that's a pretty bold strategy. And hey, if it works, it'll work. But the fall off on these tires are about 2 seconds a lap. It looks like.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough for Eaton to not be in the way and maintain that track position. He's a great driver. He may be able to do it, but it is a tall order. So
Rincon, Everidge, McDonald, and Osborne are in front of Eaton. They will get the waiver round. And then by the rule, by being the leader, by virtue of being the leader, it is your right to bring the field down to green, and that's what they'll hand it off to Eaton here when they come to the one to go. And there you go. Lights are off on the pace truck, so the field will join up next to the pace truck there. And something we don't see a lot here on Race First, double file restart. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, now that we've ran 77 laps, people know what they've got in their trucks. Some of them's had misfortune early, and they're trying to bring themselves back up through the field. You're going to see a lot more white-knuckle driving as soon as this green flag hits as we go green.
Well, we still have a long way to go.
These guys know if we go to another cycle of green flag pit stops, how easy it was for them to lose the pack. So I think they're going to be all in, trying to stay as close to the front as they can.
And again, this is a very crucial caution here to help these guys save to make this closer to a 3-stop. 4 stops, I think, is still what's going to happen. But we'll see if more cautions, again, as the saying go, caution breeds caution. Pace truck is off. Field is now under the command of Eaton. Eaton's going to bring us back up to speed. Hopefully doesn't spin those tires. They're well worn. Here we go. We don't see any accordion action in the back. Everyone kind of starts spreading out a little bit. Safely underway. And poor Pope is stuck behind Eaton with no place to go.
He's just trying to shove him.
And he's just going to push him high. He's going to go low, and he pushes him right in front of Vaught. Vaught has no place to go. Eaton to the lead, Pope to the lead on the bottom. Here comes Dickerson. And now Eaton's stuck on the high side, and that's just, he's going to be 3 wide no matter where he is now on the racetrack, is because they're all stacked up behind him. Ooh, careful, guys. Cool, going high up in the high line behind Eaton. 4 wide, careful, boys. Here comes Dobson, who just nearly missed that accident. He's now 7th, going underneath Eaton here. They're stacked up behind, 3 wide, coming off the corner. They can spread out a little bit on the front stretch, and they do. Now they just need to give each other room to get back up on the banking. There we go. Put Dobson ahead. But this lead group still battling out. Oh, side by side right there.
And you've still got Eaton trying to maintain position as good as he can. I'm looking at when they pitted on laps, basically we went green on 77. If you take 30 laps from there, I believe they can make it on 1 more pit stop. Most of the guys can make it on 1 more pit stop from right here.
Yeah, he's 23 laps into his current stint, Eaton is.
Yeah, he is the one that will have to pit twice unless...
Ooh, cool on the wall. Oh! They go 3 wide off a cool, bouncing off the wall, just losing tons of momentum.
He's going to drop from 10th to about 18th, bouncing off the wall there out of turn number 2.
And Dixon's going to get a run on him, get him in the... He's join him here in 1 and 2, maybe pass him in 1 and 2, going low here in 1 and 2. Here we go. So cool, one of the top 5 leaders for most of the race, bouncing off the wall, so he's trying to recover. Let's get up and reset things. It's Vaught, Dickerson up high. Here comes Pope. Anderson, heard a shout out for him in the 99 and 4th. Hallinan in 5th in the 74. Good enough in 6th in the 89.
There's a hornet's nest around the 1 truck at 5. There was 4 wide, they're 3 wide.
Oh, because he's stuck behind Eaton. He has no place to go, and Eaton's pedaling as all he can, but you can only do so. Oh, look at those 2 on the bottom banging. That's Kyle Vaught. Oh, Austin Paul there in the 3. That's actually Andrew Cawthon with the Brazilian clear, as I like to call it. The driver, he said clear on the radio, and he took his word for it. He just moved right on up.
You did say Austin Paul, and I want to give him a shout out. He was wrecking as we took the green flag. He got spun out. Yeah,
he's 12th.
And now he's all the way up to 12th. He runs really well at Kansas. I think that we get another caution, he may be a player.
Dustin Wade in the race first truck. There he is, back in 25th. 1 lap down. He wants a caution to get that lucky dog. And the other race first truck there in the 21st. Chandler Paul just hanging out in the back, watching all the action unfold in front of him. He's actually one of the last 4 on the lead lap. Back there, a lot of race wins are in the back here. Paul Bidner, Osborne, and Rincon all in the back of the pack. What are they doing? When you see that many quality drivers hanging out in the back, that you know they could fight to the front. What are they doing back there at this time? They're not actually racing. They look like they're pacing themselves.
I think that they were probably of the opinion that they were already back there. They didn't want to get in a mess on the restart. Maybe saw something they didn't like, and they're just trying to hang out and see how it plays out. They're so far behind now where I think that their only strategy is to just kind of ride around and hope for a caution and get back in the mix that way. Bittner's his truck looks like it's dented up pretty good in a couple of places. I know Rincon was in the wreck. They brought out the caution, so that, maybe he's still got some damage and he didn't take his fast repair.
And Lori is very happy in chat that we've only had 1 caution to this point.
Yeah, there's been a few races this year where I'm sure that she's wanted to kill the majority of the drivers in the league. figuratively, not literally. She's just would like to claw their eyes out for the way we've raced.
The chief steward of the VRL. Here comes Pope down low into 3 under Vaught side by side. And tell you what, Dickerson's thinking about taking a 3 wide if he can. And he is rolling at 3 wide up top. But it's going to go 2 wide off the corner. Still Pope and Vaught side by side. Pope down to the apron. Coming back up. Got to watch, though, when these tires get well worn. And these are only 14-lap-old tires. So the good of it, Pope's starting to push up. Careful. Oof. Because there was no place for Vaught to go there. When you get tires that are well worn, especially when you hit that little bit of transition on the apron up into the racetrack, can unload the truck in the back. I've seen it do it to other cars before, and it'll cause a big wreck, especially at the front. Do see a truck on pit road. Not sure who that is. That is actually that is Bittner on pit road and Rincon. There's Rincon and there's Bittner coming off of pit road. So they opted to, well, let's just stop now.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to pit twice, but maybe they felt they were so slow. This was their only, they needed to go ahead and pit and bite the bullet.
90 of 133 in the books. So we're talking playoffs now. Who up front here needs a win to get into the playoffs, and who up front here needs a good finish to make the playoffs?
Well, George Rincon would need a win, but he's in 5th in points, so maybe he can points his way in. But other guys that could use a win that haven't won, Austin Paul, Craig Goodenough is near the front. Him and Zachary Hallinan are 11th and 12th in points. Kelly Cool, Andrew Player, John Curtis, Albert Anderson 16th in points. So right now he is technically out because Chandler would be in.
Dustin Wade up in the wall there, scuffing up the race first truck, but he is off it. He's clear of everybody. And but the problem is with Wade now, he is now no longer the first truck a lap down as people are stopping on pit road. Cawthon is now 1 lap down. Osborne now is the first truck 1 lap down, excuse me. He's stopping on pit road. Those are the guys that got the wave around. They were kind of hoping for another caution to pop out. Not one materialized, so they are forcing to make their stops now. So that puts Kelly Cool as the last truck 1 lap down into 23, almost in the wall with contact with the 434 there. Cool now crossing over to 23, trying to get around this. That's Sean McDonald and Kevin Hunt back for 31st and 32nd. At this point, fellas, you can't be bouncing off each other. Just bring the trucks home.
There's still a little bit too much racing to go. Oh, Larry Dickerson gets tied out of turn 2. I don't know if he got the wall, but he definitely had to pedal it, and Albert Anderson gets under him and takes over the third.
Clears him. Take a look at Dickerson's truck. Doesn't look like it's scuffed. Maybe he just got close enough where rolling out of the throttle just cost him momentum and 1 position. He's back under it. It looks like he's back. Everything's under him well. Right behind him, Michael Adamson in that Mavis tire on the low side of Goodenough, trying to keep the 5th. Goodenough still up on the high side by side, down the backstretch. Good racing.
Caution.
David Fight. No. Not sure who it is.
Caution.
Oh, McDonald.
Sean McDonald.
Yeah. And McDonald down on the apron, and this was we were just watching this. I told these guys to be careful. 434 and the 23 get together again.
That looked like a little bit of net code right there.
There was some net code. There was some net code, but really, you have so much racetrack available to you. You should give the guy a little extra room, but that's going to be almost day done for Sean. Not sure if he's executed. He's going to head in tow, so he might have already used his fast repair.
It looks like one was kind of arcing into the corner, and one was coming up to try to not make it so shallow, and they just a little bit of net code, and then they came together. They may have hit each other anyway, but the net code definitely didn't help that cause.
Boink. Yeah, that's not good. So that's going to give those that needed to stop, specifically Dustin Wade, or not Dustin Wade, who was gosh, trying to find people in my overlay. There's so many trucks here. You guys do such a good job. Who was the leader that did not pit, that picked up the lead, and then everyone backed up behind him?
It was Dustin Eaton that had pitted earlier.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's 30th on the board, and he is some laps down.
Oh, yeah, so he's going to get his pit stop down, but he's I think he had to stop during that green flag run, and unfortunately, a lot of those guys just were within 2 or 3 laps of actually getting that caution they needed, so they're probably smacking the steering wheel a little bit.
Yeah, they may be, but the one thing is, even pitting right now, I think 30 is about the max you can go, even if you're trying to save, and we're still under lap 100, so I think even all these people that are pitting right now, they're going to have to pit again. I don't think you could save enough to make it to the end of the race.
Yeah, Eaton did 34, Everidge 32, Rencon 32, Osborne 31. Those were the big gainers, or the longest stints on the last stint. That was a lot of those trucks. That was their third stint. So that was after 2 stops. So a lot of trucks coming now to their third stop. Some staying out. Vought's going to stay out. Pope's going to stay out. Dickerson's going to stay out. Adamson's going to stay out. Goodenough's going to stay out. Gonzalez, he's going to stay out. Gonzalez he made up a lot of spots. He gave up a ton of track position by either missing pit road or choosing to pit later than everyone else on that last caution. So he has made it up. Hallinan is up to 7th. Gallagher in 8th. Curtis is in 9th. And Austin Paul is in 10th. That's your top 10. Paul, you mentioned, had some rough going very early on and is now in the top 10.
Yeah, Austin has done a good job of rebounding. What's going to be real interesting when we go green here is you've got these guys up front in the top 10, basically, that didn't pit. And they're banking up. They know that everybody has to pit again. So what they're trying to do is run it dry until they have to pit. These guys that just pitted,
they're good.
Are going to hope that there's a caution that comes out real quick, and they're going to try to be saving gas under caution, and they may be able to cycle ahead of these guys that have been in the lead the whole race. So this is going to make it really interesting to see how the strategy plays out.
And let's give you the focus of that strategy for P7, Zachary Hallinan. He is the first of those that pitted at 97. I don't know if anyone else is going. Let's go up to the Race First One airship with TCR pilot. Let's see if anyone else has decided to stop on pit road. I don't think maybe someone coming in for a splash. Yeah, there are some people coming down pit road for a splash, starting with Jack Dixon. Which might not be a bad idea. Dixon's already played kind of an early fuel strategy, so he's calculating here, just getting a little bit of a splash here. Is that enough for him to go a little bit longer or have a fresher, more fuller tank, so to speak, to get to these? Gosh, it's going to be close. It's really going to be close. We're going to go. I think we're coming to green with, we're lining up 2 by 2. Coming to green with 100, that lap 100, so it'll be 33. If we go caution free, and Lori, we will cross our fingers with you and knock on wood. If we go caution free to the end, those that are just stopped now have a really good shot at possibly making this without stopping anymore. That extra splash at the end might be the difference. We'll see. Getting ready to go green. Pace truck is off. Fields under the command of Jess Vaught to the inside. That green truck. Green flag in the air. The 89 scooting up, trying to get a good run on the 69. Already in his tailgate. Pope up high. Dixon down low. Going in the 1. 89 kind of brute forced his way in there, and then he scoots up, guns the Brazilian clear in front of Adamson. Adamson probably wasn't wanting them to move up there. 74 has a clear shot on the bottom. Hallinan, there is the first truck that has fresh tires and might be able to get to the end.
I still think that's asking a lot. If they have a caution, I think they can save enough. If they don't, I don't think you can run more than 30, 31 full green flag laps.
Well, if he could stay in the draft and kind of pedal it and not really push these guys, because these guys in front of him have to stop, right? He doesn't have to pass them. I mean, can he just...
No, he doesn't have to pass them.
He could sit there and just as long as he stays ahead of the group behind him. Ooh, he clips the apron a little bit there. We have a saying in race first, apron bad. Just don't want to catch it in the corner. He just needs to keep the trucks behind him that he's racing. But he doesn't need to pass the ones in front of him. They all have to stop. Oh, 3 in the wall. Austin Paul in the wall. Come off the wall. There he goes. There is a magnet in the turn 1 and 2 wall. And he is getting freight trained right now. Oof. 79 did not give him much room. Quarter entrance got really crowded back there really quick.
Yeah, it's tough for Austin because he worked his way all the way back up into the top 10. And
yeah.
Now he's got to do it again, and he's running out of laps to rebound again.
All right, here is the 19. Dixon, I told you, he came with that last little stop, last little splash. He is now in 11th, and he can see the front. He's got Rincon above him. Rincon is 1 lap down. Not a factor right now. Pope, Vaught, Dickerson, good enough, cool. Cool, recovered after a smack in the wall. He was in the back for a long time, and he's recovered back up to 5th. Oh, there we go. The 89, the 89 good enough in the wall. He spun. He caught it. He caught it. We're not caution. Oh, we are caution.
Yeah, I think iRacing triggered the caution, but what a save by Good Enough. Man, he really, really had to drive the crap out of that to keep from hitting the inside wall head on.
That's why he smacked the wall coming off a 2, kind of come down. The 187 was there. I don't think the 187 really had anything to do there. He was just kind of collected. It's a shame the caution came out. I don't think a caution needed to come out, but it was race first went ahead and threw it. Looks like these two will be allowed to go to pit road and at least execute their fast repair. And I would think that this opens the door for the leaders that needed to stop there to maybe stop one more time to get their last stop out of the way. They're giving up a lot of track position if they do.
Yeah, this is the money stop though. It's the last stop. We'll see if the guys that stopped the last time stay out and try to hold their track position. They only have 8 laps on their tires.
Hallinan only 8 laps. Hallinan fell back to 11th. Now he's coming in. He's coming in. Dixon, the 19, he's coming in. So I guess these guys weren't going to make it.
Josh Bittner gets the lucky dog from 22nd spot. I'm sure that Osborne looks like he'll probably get a wave around. Scott Howell involved in an accident. He stayed out on the track, though. He's the leader. And I'm sure Dustin Eaton and
I know he trapped him back there. Yeah,
George Rincon and Dustin Wade are probably gritting their teeth right now. It's like, why did you not pit?
That's what we call getting trapped behind the leader when you thought the leader would go. The leader traps you out there where you're not going to be able to get this wave around. Now maybe Hal missed the pit in. We'll see. Maybe he comes in this time, and then we'll give those opportunity. The next truck it's going to pick up the lead is Dobson, and we've seen Dobson go long every single stint.
Yeah, and I think Dobson probably can save enough to where he'll make it to the end. He's probably coasting, cutting the car off.
Well, if we'll listen right now. We're riding on his hood. We'll listen. Yeah, he just turned the engine back on. I like it. I like it a lot. These in-cars give you so much intelligence of what the driver is doing. Either clutching or coasting, turning the engine off. But Howell's staying out. Howell pitted last, only 10 laps in. To his stint, 97 lap 97 is when Howell pitted. Is this a good idea?
No. It's not.
I was thinking the same thing, but I'm not. I'm not necessarily the truck and NASCAR guy. I probably would have pitted, but Scott thinking here on an alternate strategy, and sometimes in order to win, you need to think on the alternate strategy, and he is going to stay out and pick up the lead here in the late stages.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you've got the top 4 that stayed out. And then fifth on back have pitted. Mayberry came out ahead of Jess Vaught and Pope and some of these other guys. So Mayberry may have only taken 2 tires, but it does show that he did pit. So
let's talk about 2 tires.
He took 2 tires.
Let's talk about 2 tires. Because we do majority open wheel here on Race First, we don't see us ever change 2 tires. In a blue moon, you will occasionally see an open wheeler change maybe 2 tires if it's just the rears on a road course, so to speak, that they're really tearing up the rears. But rarely does an open wheeler go to a 2-tire change. What is a 2-tire change going to do here, other than get him out in front of everybody? Is because of I'm assuming he changed right sides. So is that going to make the handling of his truck on a full tank different than it was before when he had 4 fresh tires? Now he has 2 used and 2 fresh and a full tank?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have that many laps on the old tires, but there's something about 2-tire stops that it doesn't work all that well in iRacing most of the time. It just makes the truck feel wonky. It gets loose and it'll snap loose, or it'll push tight, and it just makes it more unpredictable. So I think it works better when you're on like a green flag run and you're trying to do it at the end of the race and you come out and you're merging with cars that's already at speed. When you're doing it like this, it's probably going to be tough.
Howell and Dobson coming to the green as your leaders. 11 laps into their current stint. 97 is when they pitted at last. Behind them, Player and Anderson, 9 laps into their current stint. They pitted on 99. They should be possibly good to go. Coming to green flag now. Hopefully nobody of these used tires spins their wheels on the restart. Looks like a good one. Side by side, Howell and Dobson into one. And we got the trucks behind them now trying to find a way through with slightly better tires. The 99 thought about shooting the middle for a minute, but the door slammed on him. Now he's going to shoot the middle. Oh, that's so close. But you gave him the door, and here comes Jess Vaught. He's going to follow him through. 85's in a bad spot. 85's in a real bad spot. 3 wide coming off the corner. Trucks going to the apron. Howell still handing tough down on the bottom. Almost slams the door on Dickerson.
Yeah, so now the thing is, Pope and Dickerson can't let Vaught get too far away. That'll be the thing to watch.
Yeah, Vaught only 4 laps, and he's of that group that pitted last. And Vaught really desperately wants to clear these guys and just start cruising, because his chief rivals on his same strategy are 2 trucks behind him, and he just wants to, while he can, make that separation.
Got a lot of tight racing in the pack. Everybody's pushing as hard as they can. They're not having to worry about gas, and they're on the loud pedal.
Adamson in the tailgate of the 29. The 88 up on the high side. The 89 on the high side. Still sporting some damage from that incident, but still racy.
Got a battle for the lead.
Pope has caught Vaught.
Been the two show ponies all race. Dickerson, so they. Looks like it's the 3 that are going to really battle it out. But Kelly Kill, he's been fast, and he's back up there with those guys, and it's a short run, so Kelly may be able to run in the top 3. Albert Anderson doing a really good job staying up in the top 5.
Yeah, he is.
With those older tires. I mean, and like I said, he's right at the edge of the points right now, trying to points his way in without a win. So he really, really needs to try to stay near the top 10 to make as many points as he can.
Race First coverage of the VRL is brought to you by D&D Graphic Design. That's you, Ricky. D&D Graphic Design specializes in custom graphics to meet your needs, whether it's a new livery for your iRacing truck or design help with pamphlets, logos, flyers, and more. D&D is your one stop for all your professional graphic needs. Learn more. Contact Ricky at their Facebook page or facebook.com/D&D Graphics and Design, or click on their link in the description. I want to thank them for their coverage and their sponsorship of the VRL.
Oh yeah, the number 7 is one of my paint jobs, and it's running really sporty up there beside Jess Vaught. It looks good out front.
You know, another one of your paint jobs out there, number 72, right there in 19th spot, Chandler Paul.
I've got a few out there.
Yeah, the Race First truck, yeah.
Oh, Pope does a crossover on Vaught. They are getting it.
Yeah, they are not.
Man.
They are. Yeah, it is level 11 out of 10 for these guys up at the front.
And Dobson doing really good, hanging on in 6th. Also, we've got pretty much 6 trucks, I think, that's within striking distance right now. The top 3, and Kelly also has fresher tires, so those 4 are probably the ones you want to watch out for. Those top 4.
And Jonathan Osborne's still with the purple lap. If anyone's curious about who has the fastest lap, Osborne back there with a 30.6.
Yeah, Pope and Vaught both running in the 30. Well, also Dickerson running in the 31.2s. Right now, they're all the 3 fastest trucks on the track.
Cool's got to be right up there. I mean, he's literally in their draft.
As you say that, he actually tied Vaught this last lap for the fastest lap on the previous lap.
Yeah, we just seriously saw him just closing the gap on those top 4 or top 3. Albert Anderson on the bottom there. He is liking the low side. So you run the low side, you run the risk of wearing out the right rear. You run the high side, and you run the risk of wearing out the left front. it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Almost up. Just pick the middle line, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta pick your poison. What do you want to wear out the worst? But right now, I don't think any of those guys in the top 4 are worried about.
Just watch the 79 almost come up and meet and greet the left front of the 19. 19 way up in the grip strip up there. Going to get a good run. 16. Kyle Vaught getting a good run on the bottom. He's in the top 15. Looking at a top 10 if he can get a couple more positions. Closing stages. Thanks for joining us. 120 of 133 in the books. And we got to cover to pit road. Greg Dobson. So he had to stop.
Dobson must not have been able to run it out. I thought that he may be able to make it, but apparently...
I thought so. Not even close,
my calculations was off, yeah.
Me too. I thought maybe he would have, but... or maybe he's going for the last set of tires and going to go on a short stint run, kind of do a Red Bull, what they do in Formula One, kind of go for those fast late laps, and maybe, hope for a caution, get a lucky dog, and then storm back up through the field. I don't know. But do want to shout him out. He's had himself a great race. And, of course, we saw that near miss he had in the backstretch, so good job on him. But, unfortunately, he's now relegated back into the mid-20s as he rejoins the field. Pope, Vaught, and Dickerson now your top 3.
Keep seeing guys pushing out of turn 2 into the wall. I'm not sure the cautions are over. Man, watching that right there with Mike Adamson and Alejandro Gonzalez. Gonzalez gave Adamson the old Brentwood hello going into the tournament, but Adamson hung on to it.
Adamson looking on the low side of Gallagher. Everybody's now starting the push. The good of these tires have worn off many, many laps ago.
And Pope and Vaught slowly trying to separate themselves. That Dickerson's still close, but Kelly's falling off a little bit, and Albert, his tires are just too old, and he may be still trying to save gas too, because he does have 25 laps on his on the current run.
Yeah, 10 to go.
Yeah, he's probably on the edge of not being able to make it, and that, with him being right at the edge of the points, it would not be good if he has to pit. That would
187, 10, 29. There's contact in the back. There's your caution. There's your caution. That's Osborne. I can't really see who's in the wall in the backstretch. Now in the front stretch.
It was Dustin Eaton, but that did not bring out the caution.
No, it didn't. But he took a big hit, and I'm sure he's not very happy. Let's see if we can maybe see what happened here. The 187 up against the wall. He's trying to come off it. He just comes right down. He didn't really hold his line, and then it just turns to 14.
Ooh,
yeah, you gotta if you're gonna come off the wall like that, you gotta kind of hold your line, and that's ruined Eaton's day. He's done. He's coming to pit road.
Yeah, his left front is. Oh, he's spinning out on the back stretch.
I hope he's gonna try to tow it. Yeah, okay.
Stop. He tows. Oh. Did not bring out a caution. I thought that may bring out the caution. But
meanwhile, Pope is around Vaught. Vaught now being challenged by Dickerson. Pope might run away with this thing if these two start battling too much in behind him. Vaught now, Pope, your leader by 4/10 over Vaught and Dickerson.
Yeah, definitely Pope. That's what he's wanting to see. We're hearing guys pitting, so gosh, man. I really thought that the ones that pitted on that last caution, they were good to go. I really
Osborne on pit road, Eaton on pit road. I believe those are from Eaton's on damage or tow, but Osborne on pit road. So Pope, Vaught, Dickerson, Cool leading a second group, and the 28. That's actually. Rincon, he's back at 27th, 2 laps down. He's with the lead group, but not involved with it. And then we see Albert Anderson in 5th there, right behind him, Craig Goodenough, who went sliding down the backstretch at one point. Now he's recovered to 6th. Halloran, well, we thought he had maybe a shot at it by being the first of those trucks that pitted.
Ooh. Dickerson beating the 33's back bumper off like it owes him money. We're getting down to showtime and really pushing for everything they got.
You know, after this, I'm going to go watch AEW. So the quote Jim Ross, he's beating it like a government mule.
Yeah, the government mule. Yeah. Pope's loving it, though. Just trying to stretch it out.
There's 81 now going down a lap. Another lap, actually. I had to stop late. Four to go. Cool is now clear of really everybody right now. If he could just come home where he is right now, that's a great finish. Also, he had a moment where he was really struggling after bouncing off the wall. Anderson.
He's trying to get a podium, and his lap times are better than Jess and Larry running side by side.
So is he going to run out of time here? He's got 4-3 to go now. Dickerson up 20 spots. Anderson up 20 spots. Adamson up 14. Paul up 18. Vaught up 15. Cawthon up 16. Mayberry up 14. Got some big gainers today. Piloted these trucks out very well.
A couple laps to go watching Anderson to see if he can hang on to the top 5 and if he's got enough gas in the tank. If he does, I'm sure all these guys in front of him do.
Gonna be close. This is now 33 laps on this stint. And he actually topped it off at 99 right before going green. But these last few drops.
Yeah, he's got to be running on vapors right now.
He is coming to pit road.
Oh, he didn't make it. Just tough break for Albert. They take the is he taking the white flag? Is this the last lap?
Yeah. Pope has the white flag. He is cleared by 0.6 over Dickerson. The 81. So actually, he slowed down, get out of the way. But Pope has done a great job at mastering and managing his time at the front. Off of corner number 3 and 4 on the high line, coming down the main straight. The 7 with the win at Kansas. Dickerson second, Vaught third. Cool. Coming home top 5. Good recovery for him. Goodenough 5th. Adamson 6th. Halloran 7th. Gallagher 8th. Gonzalez 9th. Austin Paul in that 3, who started off rough, 10th.
Yeah, Austin did a really good job to keep bouncing back. And Kyle Vaught, I said that he needed to probably be around 8th, 12th to have a shot next week to get up to the top 20. I'll have to see how the points shake out after this week, but he done what he needed to do. Solid 11th.
We'll get the final standings here just momentarily. And let's get those in.
Having a team ain't dead yet celebration at the start-finish line. Bittner and Vaught celebrating with Pope, who takes home the win and is, like I said, it's hard to be impartial. So
I'm going to say, we're talking wrestling early. You didn't go all Bobby Heenan out there, but Pope with the win, improved 6 spots, led 42 laps. Dickerson comes home second, up 20 spots, led 2. Vaught led 69 laps, coming home third for that bottom step on the podium. Kelly Cool fourth after getting smacked in the wall at one point, riding 1 and 2 for much of the lap, and then having to recover. He was in the back of the pack and comes home fourth. Goodenough fifth. Adamson 6th. Halloran 7th. Gallagher 8th. Gonzalez 9th. And Austin Paul up 20 spots. And again, good recovery for him. He is up to 10th. Moving on to the second page. Kyle Vaught is 11th, John Curtis 12th, Paul 13th, Coughlin 14th, Mayberry 15th, Dixon 16th, Fight 17th, Bittner 18th, Player 19th, Albert Anderson led 1 lap, finished 20th. Dobson led 3 while conserving fuel there on his long runs. Ochoa 22nd, Dobson 21st, Young 23rd, Howell 24th, Osborne 25th, Rincon, not a finish he likes, back in 26th. Unfortunately, an incident kind of slowed his day down a little bit. Everidge 27th, Wade 28th, Hunt 29th, Dustin Eaton, who spent some time at the front, on 30th, led 9 laps. McDowell 31st, Robertson 32nd, and the host with the most, Lori Vaught. Going to get credit for 33rd. I mean, you keep racking up those 33rd point finishes, I mean, you'll eventually move up in the standings a little bit. And additional graphics show up talking about number of cautions. 3 cautions, 12 laps. Average lap time was a 32. Not bad.
Yeah, the guys in this league, for the most part, do a good job of minimizing cautions. You saw that tonight. Still had a lot of close racing, but only 3 cautions, and that one, Gary, iRacing triggered it a little too quick.
Yeah, that wasn't very fair.
Avoided that one.
That wasn't very fair. Wow, I maybe I'm just the good luck here on stock car racing here on Race First. Just almost came our 6th consecutive stock car race with caution free, but I was entertained. And when you can go as caution free as long as you can, that's when you start seeing these other strategies coming into play, and people that normally wouldn't be at the front come to the front because they're executing a different strategy. And that to me is real entertainment. Watching restarts over and over and trucks banging into one another. That can't be entertainment, even for people watching at home. It's like, I have to watch them re-rack one more time. And so, yeah, the guys did a great job today. Let's check the interview for the interview room here. Let's see. Would you like to bring up Jess Vaught, who finished third with us tonight?
Yes, John Curtis in the interview room. He is our spotlight driver, which we have a spotlight driver in addition to the top 3.
All right, so let's bring up Curtis first in the 43. Good day for him.
Oh, yeah. Very, very solid day for John Curtis tonight.
I'll try bringing him up here. Hey, John, looks like you are the spotlight driver of the day in the 43 there. You had an up and down race, my man. Talk about your race early on. You did kind of a victim of a spin job, but you kind of recovered to storm back late and get yourself right there in the top 10.
Yeah, it was running good and stuff, but early in the race there, we had that caution back around lap 97. I went in, and then I came back out, and I went back in to top up, and I took my next set of tires. So the last 40-some-odd laps, I had one set to try to finish it off in, so kind of wish I could have kept running better like I was at the beginning of the race, but I'll take what I can get. Yeah,
good, solid top 15. I mean, you're right there, like I said, on the cusp of the top 10. Talk about the green flag running, though. That had to be fun.
Oh, yeah, it was good. And car setup, I thought, was really good, too. Start at the bottom, and, as the run went, you slowly moved up towards the top.
Well, next week, of course, you're kind of in a bit of a throwback livery with the mellow yellow. Next week's Darlington. Are you ready for the Darlington stripe next week or no?
I'm already guaranteed to put extra 5 coats of paint on that side of the truck because I know it's all going to be on the wall.
Before we let you go, since you're the spotlight driver for tonight, shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anybody you'd like to say hi to, go right ahead.
I'd like to give a shout out to Jess and Lori for everything that they do, everything that goes on with the telecasting from you guys, and everybody else on the track. It was a good race tonight, and it's good to be able to race with good drivers and hard drivers. We had a good long run there. The first one was 74 laps before anything happened.
Yeah, it was a fun time for us in the booth. But John Curtis, your spotlight driver of the night in the number 43, coming home 12th. Not exactly where he wanted to finish, but a good, solid finish nevertheless. And that surely makes him happy going into Darlington next. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, buddy. Take care. Good luck.
All right, let's bring up our third spot, Jess Vaught. Hey, Jess, got you in the booth here with Gary and Ricky. Congratulations on the third spot, although I know, based upon your stats, leading 69 laps and everything, third might not be good enough tonight. Talk about your race and talk about those that final stint when kind of Pope and Dickerson just kind of wore you out and got around you.
Yeah, I mean, anything less than first place is normally not good enough for me, but I'm used to it with Pope, and he's got this special skill about saving just enough tires to be able to wear you out. And I was just talking and telling Larry, I said, man, you had the right strategy. I was thinking the whole time in that last stint, we're doing that lazy Susan action, me and Pope, just back and forth, and I thought to myself, he's laying back there. He's probably going to get us both and steal the win.
Well, was when you were thinking about that, then maybe turn the tables and execute the strategy before he can, or was it just, I'm going to stick to what I'm doing and that's leading, and I'm not going to give up any positions, any track position or any positions on the racetrack. I'm going to just stay out in front and make them pass me.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, the thing about Pope, he's got this like magic thing he does. If you don't stay in front of him, if he gets by you, he's usually gone. So, I mean, I was going to have to lie in the bed I made right there and just try to duke it out with him and hope for the best. And yeah, it didn't work out, but I got a podium. I'm not real crazy about Kansas, but I made the best of it. I thought I had a chance to win. That untimely caution there towards the end, bunching everybody up. But me and Pope, we had the field by like 11 seconds. If it had gone green, it would have come. Yeah. It would probably come down to the two of us.
You did, yeah, and I think that last caution, and you guys only had 3 cautions the entire race, so bravo. I mean, to every single driver here, that huge green flag run was awesome. That last caution, I think, was generated by iRacing. Probably shouldn't have, and you guys probably should have kept going. But still, I could hear a little disappointment in your voice. Kind of wanted at least 1 or 2 positions a little bit better. But there's a whole bunch of other drivers that'll probably swap spots with you in a heartbeat to be on the bottom step of the podium. So take that as kind of as the good news coming out of this particular race. I know you got some teammates, friends, families, sponsors, people you want to shout out to. So go right ahead for winning third here. You got all the time you need on the microphone. Go right ahead.
Yeah, thanks. So first of all, to my wife, Lori, who does all the admin for this league. Without her, it wouldn't be anything what it is. And
wise man, yeah, chief steward, yes.
Yep. Starting right there is number 1. And then, of course, my team, the Vigilante Force. Those guys are fantastic to race with, and I appreciate them every week. And thanks to you, Gary, for stepping in, you and Raceverse, and cover down on us while our normal broadcasters are on leave, essentially, for a couple weeks. Fantastic broadcast. Everything I've seen, the other stuff you guys have done. So big kudos to you and to Ricky as well.
Well, thanks a lot. Congratulations on the 3rd spot. We'll catch you next week at the track Too Tough to Tame.
Thanks, buddy. You guys take care. Good night.
Let's bring up P2, Larry Dickerson. Larry, got you in the booth here with Gary and the maestro, Ricky Wittenberg. Great run for you, up 20 spots to P2. Great battle there in the closing laps. Kind of wore out the rear deck lid or the tailgate there of Vaught. Finally got around him, and maybe if you had some time, maybe could have caught Pope. But still, 20 spots improvement. What a drive, my man. Talk about your race.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I hated I had to start at the back of the pack for last week's EOL, but every day is a new day and every race is a new race. So this is one of my favorite tracks. Mile and a half, big tracks like this is my strong suit. But yeah, I got the EOL, and it's all about here saving your tires and knowing when to pass and not burning stuff up. So I kind of rode a high line like 99.9% of the night. The only time I think I went to the bottom was when we went through traffic when I was following Jess and Tim on that one restart a couple times. But if you run the bottom and you stay under somebody and they just keep you pinned down in there, you're gonna burn your stuff up so much. So, and I'm not saying I'm Kyle Larson, but I kind of like to run like Kyle Larson. I like running the high lane in where chance I get. That's what I feel like I'm strong at. And I've gotten real good over the past couple of years being on here saving tires. So just knowing when to pick your spot and how to manage that tire. And it was going to be a fuel miles race, but those late cautions made it a little interesting with the tire strategy. Not so much you had to worry about fuel. But yeah, those last closing laps, man, I was wearing Jess's bumper out. My teammate Albert, he told me with 10 to go, he goes, man, you might get a chance if they slip up there, you might be able to make the pass. But I actually, like I told Jess, I intentionally stayed behind Jess there last, I don't know, 5-6 laps before I passed him with 3 to go to get a cushion on me and Kelly, because I knew if I got underneath Jess and he had me pinned down there, all I'm going to do is burn my stuff up, and the truck's going to get super tight, and that's going to just allow Kelly to close back in and have a chance to steal the podium, or if me and Jess was still side by side and he got to us, a chance to get us both. So I just played it safe and rode behind Jess till I had enough cushion to pass him. I actually passed him with like 6 or 7 to go. And the next corner, he did a slide job on me like him and Tim were doing and got right back in front of me. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I got to do this all over again. So I think if I could have got by him with 6 or 7 to go when I originally made the first pass, I could have had a chance to go up there and get Tim. But there's nothing you can do with Tim. Man, he is an awesome driver. He knows his stuff. And so does Jess. And it's just it's an honor to get to run with these guys and race these guys and race clean like that. like we did tonight.
Oh, it sounds like you definitely had a good time out there. And, hey, just think of it this way. Running that close to the wall all race long kind of got you ready for next week at Darlington, where you're going to be up against that wall, again, all race long. So congratulations on P. Shout-outs, any friends, family, sponsors, anything you'd like to say hi to, go right ahead.
First, I want to give a shout-out to everybody who supports this league, all the fans that tune in every week, because without the fans and the league sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do this. So shout out to all of them. Shout out to GS. Again, congrats on him on a podium night. Had a lot of fun racing with him. Give a shout out to him for taking the time out of his busy day. I'm pretty sure he stays busy to put this show on every Monday night, the practice races, and every Wednesday night, the league races. And shout out to Lori for putting up with all our chaotic and hectic stuff we do to torture her sometimes. So shout out to them too for running, to me, the best league there is in iRacing. Shout out to my friends who watched the coverage tonight, Chris and Danielle. So shout out to them. P2, baby, we did it. And then shout out to my teammates, Jack, Albert, and Jeremiah. I wish Jeremiah could have raced tonight. He would have been strong too. And then all because of my sponsors, LA Construction. My buddy who does my paint jobs, he just changed the name of his design company like 2 weeks ago. So I can't remember off the top of my head. So shout out to him for my paint jobs. And my biggest one, the Angelman Syndrome Foundation. Go if you can, support all types of autism. If you can donate or do whatever you can to help that organization out, or any forms of autism, you'll be doing those people an awesome cause. So shout out to all of them, and shout out to also the last one, my buddy at work, Ted, who says I never give him a shout out and I show him the highlights. Shout out to you, Ted. You man.
There you go, Ted. You heard it right here. You got the shout out. Congratulations, Larry. We'll catch you next week at Darlington.
All right, everybody. Catch y'all next week. And hopefully you don't see me with a torn up truck and Darlington stripes.
You got it. Well, maybe we see you one position better. How about that?
Hey, that sounds awesome.
There you go.
You got to beat Tim first. Yes.
All right. Before we bring up Pope, do got to mention Ricky. We haven't mentioned the other sponsor for the night, K&W Realty. You got to talk to Ricky here at K&W Realty. Having served hundreds of clients through the complexities of real estate, Ricky will work hard for you for the best possible experience. No used car salesman promises or gimmicks. You can trust Ricky to help you find that new property. Learn more or to contact Ricky, contact him at his email at rwittenberg@kw.com or click on the link in the description. So there you go, Ricky. We'll get you some business. Hopefully, that pans out for you. But I want to thank all of the sponsors for the broadcast tonight: Blue Fox Properties, GC Cruise Travel, D&D Graphic Design, and K&W Realty with Ricky Wittenberg there. Thank you very much for bringing VRL to the masses and bringing us to Race First as well. Let's bring up Pope, the winner. Mr. Pope, you're up here in the booth with Gary and Ricky. Congratulations on the win. Let's talk about a couple things first. You did improve 6 spots, so you had to fight through some traffic. There was one restart that you kind of got stuck behind Eaton, who decided that he wanted to stay out and just didn't come up to speed to everybody, and you were just wearing out his back tailgate until you could kind of push him ahead so you could finally pass him. Other than that, I mean, kind of the battles that you had with Pope at the front, Dickerson and Vaught at the front, but most of the excitement was happening behind you. The biggest decisions, I guess, you probably had was getting on and off pit road smoothly without any penalties and costing yourself some time on the racetrack.
Yeah. At the end of that last caution, we were trying to decide whether to pit or not one time, and then, like I said, on and off the pit road. I'm not that great on pit stops for some reason. Just pull me on the pit stop green flags. I had to track them back down.
We'll talk about the rest of your race. Your truck pretty much unscathed the entire time. How was it? How were the conditions out there? Did you enjoy that big, long green flag run? Would you like to see more of that stuff?
Oh, yeah, I'm good on. I love long green flag runs. Seems to do very well for me when we tire saving and stuff.
Ricky, is this one of your drivers?
Oh yeah, Tim is one of my guys. So it's good to see you.
You got any questions for the team owner here to ask the team driver here?
Yeah, Tim. I know next week we got Darlington, and it's throwback. I know you really like the 1.5 miles. Do you like Darlington? Are you pretty good? I know you're good at it, but I don't know if one of your favorite tracks.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. It's so, I guess. It's just hard to stay off the wall, in and out, or out the turns, in the kind of the center number, the first turn there.
Yeah.
Second, or 3 and 4 is the last turn. Yeah, it goes so tight.
Well, congratulations on the win. Man, a few words. I'll tell you, he's like right to the point. As interview goes, this is kind of hitting point A, point B, point C in a timely fashion. But before we let you go, I mean, you got the win. I know you got friends, families, teammates, team owners, sponsors, people you want to thank. So go right ahead.
Well, I got to thank Ricky Rittenberg with D&D Graphics. Does an awesome job. Right before the race there, I was just admiring his banner he done for the Prairie 200, looking how amazing that was. Shout out to all my other teammates as well.
All right. Well, congratulations. You're a winner tonight. Timothy Pope, a winner here at Kansas. We'll catch you next week.
All righty.
So, Ricky, before we get on out of here, what'd you think of tonight? Of course, you're probably a happy team owner that your team came through strong today. What do you think about tonight? And then looking forward to next week at the track Too Tough to Tame.
Yeah, tonight was a great race. A lot of strategy. Wasn't really sure what was going to happen. I think sometimes in the VRL, there's you get wild card races where things just kind of get chaotic and the best cars don't race up front, or the ones that you think's going to win or run up front don't run up front. But tonight it kind of went, after we got through those couple of weird cycles, after those couple of cautions, it went right back to Pope, Jess, Dickerson, I think them, and Albert and Kelly. Pretty much everybody that was up front deserved to be up front. And sometimes you like seeing craziness happen, but I always think when the guy deserves it and they've ran that good all night, they deserve a good finish. And Albert kind of got shafted where he didn't quite have enough gas, but all those other guys, they deserve to be up there. So it was a good race. I really thought there was a lot of 2, 3, 4 wide racing, and a lot of give and take. And Darlington, though, it's going to be different next week. It's going to be a whole different animal.
I don't think we're going to see 4 wide next week. Maybe at one point on the straightaway, but maybe. I don't know.
If we do, probably 2 of them will be backwards and the third one will be upside down.
Well, thank you. You're going to be in the booth with again next week?
Oh, to be determined.
All right.
Probably.
One way or another, it's going to be Ricky, or I'll have a pinch hitter ready. But man, it was good to finally get a call on a race. We've been trying to do a race together for a while, and it was good to finally work a race with you. And looking at the feedback in the chat, said that we bounced off each other pretty good, so that is a good sign. I did have a fun time tonight. Normally, these first times you do a league race, is you got to learn these names and colors and liveries and numbers, and it always makes that first race a little bit challenged. So, but then I hear next week everyone's going to be in new liveries. I'm like, it's kind of like starting all over again, but we'll figure it out. So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Kansas, Timmy Pope, your winner, beating out Larry Dickerson and Jess Vaught. That is your podium. Once again, join Race First next week for the last points round before the playoffs. It's round 13 as the teams and drivers head to the track Too Tough to Tame. That is Darlington. Coverage begins around 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 8:45 p.m. Eastern. As always, for the correct time in your area, you can find everything you need right here at youtube.com, YouTube/RaceFirst. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support RaceFirst with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on tonight's race. And for all those that participated in chat, thank you very much. We certainly appreciate your participation as part of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe while you at it. Hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss some more of RaceFirst's other iRacing programming, including the iRacing or the IndyCar iRacing series this Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern at the Indianapolis GP. And then also tomorrow night, if you guys got a chance, go to the Elite Racing Network and check out their Elite Racing League Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series 12th Annual Indy 500. And I will be calling the action, play-by-play action, along with Mark Janes. He is the voice of the 500. If you ever listen to the radio for the 500, whether most of the time in Indianapolis you have because we're blacked out, but if you ever heard any radio IndyCar races, anything like that, that is the voice of IndyCar, voice of the 500. I will get to be in the booth with him tomorrow night, calling a 500-mile race with some of the best IndyCar drivers on the entire sim has to offer. That's tomorrow night, 7:30. If you got a time, join me. I really would appreciate it. So we're on ERN. Keep your browser set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. Race First, we know what Indy means. For visitor inquiries to learn more about Race First and what we do, visit racefirst.com, or like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter. So for the maestro, Ricky Wittenberg, everyone at Race First, I'm Gary Gotzo, sending all good night. Thanks for watching. And to all the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Once again, congratulations to Tim Pope for winning. And catch us next week at Darlington for the next race of the Vigilante Racing League Truck Series. Good night.